vertically on the rigid support, and the ends of that two bobs are joined by spring, and bob 1 is displaced on the right hand, then bob 2 will be tried to displace to the left hand side. Due to that, the direction of coupling force Fc is positive or to the right hand side of the positive x-axis of the Cartesian coordinates for the first pendulum, while the coupling force Fc is on the negative side of the x-axis as shown in the above figure. That is, that figure is discussed in the yesterday's lecture. This is for the second pendulum. Okay. Now, so the equations of the motion for the first pendulum will be given by mx1 dot equal to minus mgx1 divided by L plus kx2 minus x1. In this equation 4, x1 double dot means 2 times derivative, that is m into d square x by dt square equal to first equation is the restoring force of first pendulum, which is calculated in the yesterday's lecture, that is equal to minus mgx1 divided by L. In this case, negative sign, this is because the restoring force is in the opposite direction to the displacement x1. The second part of the equation 4 is k into x2 minus x1. What do you mean by x2 minus x1? It is the extension in or stretching of spring connected between two bobs of the two pendulums. But in the case of, as discussed earlier, this k into x2 minus x1 is nothing but coupling force. In the case of first pendulum, coupling force is positive. Due to that, the plus sign is there, where minus mg x1 divided by L plus k into x2 minus x1. This plus is due to what? This is due to coupling force is positive in the case of first pendulum. Friends, now you have to write similar equation for the checkered pendulum. What will be it? You have to think on that. It is on this displacement, there is x1 is replaced by x2 only. All other things are similar. See then, m x2 double dot equal to minus mg x2 divided by L minus k into x2 minus x1. Here again x2 double dot is nothing but 2 times derivative, that is m into d square x by dt square minus mgx2 divided by L is the restoring force for the second pendulum, which is in the opposite direction to the displacement. Due to that, there is negative sign. Now, second part of this equation 5 is, instead of plus k, there is a minus k, x2 minus x1. Why? You have to answer now. Why it is minus sign? You have to think on that. It is explained earlier. In the case of second pendulum, the coupling force is negative. Why it is negative? This is because the coupling force is in the negative, on the negative x-axis, that is on the left hand side. That's why it is negative. That's why here minus sign comes. That is minus k x2 minus x1. Up to this point, equation number 5, if you have clear out the points, then we are going to move to the next part. Assume that the initial periodic solution is given of these equations, because this is the equation 4 and 5 are the derivatives, and solution of this derivative is given as x1 equal to p1 cos omega t plus q1 sin omega t. This is for first pendulum, or this is for equation number 4. It is this solution of equation number 4. Now we are going to see what is the solution of equation number 5, or it is the solution of for the second pendulum. Then only replace in the place of 1, that is x1, instead of that x2, p1 instead of that p2, q1 instead of that q2. All other things are similar. Therefore, x2 equal to p2 cos omega t plus q2 sin omega t. This is the solution of equation number 5. Okay. But where omega is the possible frequency of both the combined of the both the pendulum, then we have, or take derivative of equation number 6, that is x1 dot, that means dx1 by dt equal to minus p1 omega sin omega t. What is the derivative of cos omega t? It is the minus sin omega t. That's why the negative sign comes. P1 is constant. Next, plus q1 omega cos omega t. Why it is plus? This is because the derivative of sin omega t is cos omega t. Therefore, it is q1 plus omega cos omega t. This is the equation number 8. Then take 2 times derivative, that is x1 double dot, that is d square x1 by dt square equal to, we have to take derivative of equation 8 again. Then again, what is the derivative of sin omega t? Cos omega t. Minus 7 already is there. Therefore, derivative of sin omega t is omega multiplied by cos omega t. Therefore, there are two omegas. Therefore, there is omega square terms comes. Therefore, it is equal to minus p1 omega square cos omega t. Now, in the second part, what is there? What is the derivative of cos omega t? Minus sin omega t. Omega into sin omega t. That is, therefore there is minus sign. That is minus q1 omega square sin omega t. This is the equation number 9. And similar result of x2 dot. How you can write that x2 dot? x1 dot double dot is there. What is the values of the x2 double dot? It should be minus p2 omega square cos omega t minus q2 omega square sin omega t. Okay. Now substituting the result of 6 and 8 into equation 4. What is the equation 4? See here. Equation 4 is mx1 dot. In the place of x1 double dot, you have to put the value of equation 9. Okay. Let us put minus m p1 omega square cos omega t minus mq1 omega square sin omega t. And on the right hand side, what is there? On the right hand side there is what? mx1 dot equal to minus mgx1 divided by L plus k into x2 minus x1. We have the values of x1, x2 in 6 and 7 that we have to put in equation 4. See here. Therefore, it is equal to minus mg p1 cos omega t divided by L. Okay. Minus mg q1 sin omega t divided by L plus k p2 cos omega t plus k q2 sin omega t minus, here minus sign, why this comes? This is because x2 minus x1. That's why it is minus k p1 cos omega t minus k q1 sin omega t. This is equation number 2. And we get from equation 5. What is the equation 5? You see mx2 dot equal to, we have to put here the values of x2 double dot and x2 minus x1. See here. Therefore, minus m p2 omega square cos omega t minus m q2 omega square sin omega t equal to now minus mg p2 cos omega t divided by L minus mg q2 sin omega t divided by L minus k p2 cos omega t minus k q2 sin omega t. Why here it is a minus? This is because, my friends, the coupling force is negative for the second pendulum. That's why there is a minus k p2 cos omega t minus k q2 sin omega t plus k p1 cos omega t plus k q1 m sin omega t. Now, identities of the equation 10 and 11 are true for all values of the omega. Therefore, by comparing the equations of cos omega t or coefficients of cos omega t and sin omega t, both the sides we get. That is, we are going to see in the next lecture. Thank you. Thank you very much.